Welcome to a special preview of the new season of Leading People with me, Jerry Murray. This season, I'm excited to bring you more conversations with brilliant authors, organizational experts, and leadership practitioners who shape the world of leadership today. Together, we'll explore everything from the art of self-leadership to creating work cultures that empower people. So, settle in for a taste of what's to come and discover why effective leadership always begins with leading ourselves. Our journey starts with Anna Mittelman, the head of the European School of Administration. She talks about her experience in HR within the EU institutions and what it takes to nurture leaders who can thrive in multinational, multi-institutional environments.
So I was working in HR there, in learning and development, and interinstitutionally, I was participating in this fantastic network across the institutions with all people responsible for training and for learning and development. It was such a vibrant community. We met maybe every 2 months or so. It was really the cherry on the cake.
Anna's insights remind us that effective leadership is more than a job. It's a responsibility to cultivate the right environment for people to grow. And that brings us to behavioral economist Stefan Meyer, who has a fascinating take on why putting employees first is the key to a thriving organization. Here's Stefan explaining why leaders should rethink how they view their teams.
The other thing is an indicator of maybe the employees are not the most important asset. Is like what I did in some of my research. I looked at, how important are employees and how important are customers to executives. Because I also never met somebody who says like the customers are not important. But when you actually look how often they talk about customers versus employees, they talk about 10 times more on average about customer.
Stefan's ideas and research make us question how we treat people within our organizations. But what about how we treat ourselves? Melissa Clark, an expert on workaholism, warns us of the dangers of an always-on culture and the toll it takes on mental health. In our conversation, she shares a powerful perspective on what it really means to switch off and find balance in our lives.
But oftentimes the modern workaholic can be, just more visible through technology, emailing all hours of the night. You're getting emails 3 a.m, 4 a.m, and you're thinking, do they ever sleep? And constantly on their phone when they're at family gatherings, whether it's a wedding or vacation, taking technology with them to vacation. So I think the modern workaholic, even though they might not be physically at work as much as before, they're still working, and it might even be worse because of technology.
Melissa's message strikes a chord for leaders and employees alike, especially in today's world, where boundaries between work and life are increasingly blurred. But how can leaders convey presence and authenticity in a high-stress environment? Caroline Goyder, a renowned voice and performance coach, gives us her insights into what it means to find your voice and lead with gravitas.
It was like she had slightly shrunk. And the journey we went through in a half-day coaching session was to help her find the intention, because I don't know about you, Jerry, but I feel that a lot of powerful performance is about intentionality. I said, what do you want them to feel? And she was really surprised by that question, because she thought, what do I want them to think? So we set her intention. We thought about story, because story, I think, is a really beautiful way to tap into things that matter to you. And I said, what are the stories, the green shoots of success in this transformation? And she started to tell me a story. And I said, we need to use that because stories will help change the audience's mindset from the pain of transformation to the potential. And she went in 3 hours from someone small and hunched and flat on a Teams meeting to someone who I know when she does it will be standing, passionate, full of energy and persuasive. And that was always in her. But, as you know, good coaching is really just about going to someone, I trust you've got this, let's draw it out.
As Caroline says, true presence comes from within. So this season, we'll continue to dive deeper into the tools, perspectives, and practices that help leaders become more centered, intentional, and resilient. It's going to be a fascinating season filled with wisdom, insights, personal stories, and practical advice that you won't want to miss. So get ready to challenge your assumptions about leadership and hear from some of the best minds in the field. This season on Leading People, we'll be leading ourselves first. So tune in next week for the first episode of the new season and make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to podcasts.